somebody will have an ad and it'll be like, okay, he's 14-2 and he's a ex-cow horse and he limps in the back left, but he's the best. He's 2 years old. And they'll go, 10,000, I know what I have. And I'm like, hello and welcome back to M&S Draft Horses. So today we're going to do another segment of our barn chat. And if you read the title, today's topic is, why are horses so outrageously priced? So yeah, typically if you're new, you don't know this, I'll just take care of the horses in the barn and we'll just talk about that. But yeah, the prices are just really outrageous these days, okay? If you've been watching the horse market at all, okay, you might have noticed. But these days they're selling like 3-year-old horses. All that hay dust. They're selling 3-year-old horses for like $10,000, okay? And like I've seen like some horses $25,000, $50,000, and sometimes what was really scary about this, just a 3-year-old horse that does all the bells and whistles. And the thing about that is they all do all the bells and whistles now, okay? So nothing is special. If you have a horse and it is so good looking, okay, and you take it, if it can't do all the bells and whistles, people won't buy it. If it's not flashy, people won't buy it. And it's just really crazy to me because, you'll take a 10-year-old horse, just a plain old bay 10-year-old horse, right? And it rides good, nothing crazy. And it might bring like $4,000. Really, they're just draft crosses. Like, that's the surge. And I like to say I got ahead of that a long time ago. Because I was, when I breed horses, I breed crossbreds and like draft style crossbreds. And what I will say is I like to joke that I got ahead of it because I breed horses that don't have like actual draft. Like the Haflinger can be considered a light draft, but I gotta say, I feel like my crosses, they're ahead of some of these Belgian quarter horses. Like, I was on this long before this was what was hot. So, there's that. But what I'll say is about that is when I look at my horses, I don't overprice them. I don't look at my horses and go, wow, that's a payday sitting right there. But like, I don't look at them and say, wow, this horse right here is a payday. Like I've been raising these types of horses that are bringing this money for a long time. And I see these horses and they're like all, like I said, under 5. And I don't go for that. I don't take that selling point. When somebody tells me this horse is under 5 and it's dead broke, like the best horse, and they'll tell you all that, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, there's horses that are 10 years old that are dead broke and they just, they're not. They're great 7 days and then the next 7 they're no good. And I'm looking at a 5-year-old horse and I'm thinking to myself, they sell this as this is the best broke horse. And I just can't fathom that. And I don't believe these horses with 60-day training are worth what they're bringing. They're really not. I would rather have mine and keep mine than trade them all for one of these horses that's selling for like $15,000. I don't think that the horse is worth that. I have yet to see one selling for that I would actually buy. Honestly, like you might see them and they, after that, like 60, 30, 90, whatever amount they say they put on them, after that, they might be pretty broke, and if you took them home, but if you took them home and you rode them every day, they're probably fine. That being said, like I said though, they sell all this experience, but how can something have that experience at that age? They don't. They did it one time and it didn't freak out and they told you it was broken, it was good. And the thing about that is I can take a horse somewhere through something 5 times, on the 6th time it not like it. And freak out. And because now it's even online. Before it was like, oh, the sales were like getting high. Now it's even online. Everybody's like, oh, I know what my thing's worth. It's like one of these ads. It's like, oh, I got a horse. This is a joke, okay? But it'll be like somebody will have an ad and it'll be like, okay, he's 14.2 and he's ex cow horse, and you know he limps in the back left, but he's the best. He's 2 years old, and they'll just have you this whole story, right? And none of it makes sense. It's all like stupid, and they'll go 10,000. I know what I have, and I'm like, okay, I'll pass. And that being said, you know, there's always one selling cheap. You know, you find somebody that doesn't know what they can get now, even though I venture to say 9 out of 10 of these horses on this aren't even worth that money. You see the ads, these people, and like the only way you can find a horse now, like the prices that they used to be. So I'm thinking like 6,000 and under. Like it used to be, man, 10,000. Like that was a high dollar horse. Now it's like, well, 10,000 is about average, and if you don't have a 50,000, you're not leaving with one that's perfect. And it's like, whoa, okay, pass. And even like ponies, a little pony will sell for like upwards of 10. I'm like, that thing's worth like 1,500. Like it's not even. But here's the thing. I feel it's not worth that. But in the market, it is worth what people are paying for it, because that's what the value's up to. But I feel like the market will eventually crash again. And like people will say, oh, it's staying steady and it's not going to go down. But the market has done this for a long time. And the only thing, and when the market crashes, the only things that'll sell are going to be these papered horses. That's the only thing that'll still bring money, and big drafts, because there's a market for them. And like, I look for it to go down. People will tell you, no, it's staying. But I don't think that. I think everybody's gonna get burnt out on these prices, and it's gonna go down. It's not gonna stay. You had like the pop culture movement for all the like Western, and like people riding, and like, what was it, that Yellowstone was on TV and everybody was all about that. And I think that it become really popularized to want to be a quote unquote cowboy. And so a lot of people all of a sudden wanted horses. And you know, and like I said, the horses that will always sell high are going to be your papered horses and like straight draft horses, because there's always a market. People work draft horses. That's just how it's always been. If you go up to the Amish community, you will sell draft horses at almost the same price they're selling for now, and they're not selling as high as the crosses. The draft horses have kind of sold the same since the 90s, and they're not really changing. They've went up a little bit, but you know, you can get a draft horse. Every horse now does the trick. If you take a horse and you got the best horse in the place, and everybody can't take their eyes off of him, if he can't do all 10,000 tricks, somebody won't buy him. They'll let him go like garbage and go buy a horse that looks like garbage but does the 10 tricks. And I just don't get that. And that's what's funny to me too, because most of the time, like I was saying, these are like 3-4-year-old horses. The thing is, they do the trick at the sale and they never do the trick again. I guess somebody brings them home and they don't do the trick, and then 3 years later the trick it's gone. They don't think about the trick. They don't do the trick anymore. And I feel like a lot of people don't notice that, but that bugs me too, and it bothers me. And now it's like, oh, it's 10. Ew, that's washed up. Who wants that? And it's crazy to me, because these 10-year-old horses are actually better horses, but these people see these 3-year-olds and that's all they want. Like, that is all they want. And it's just funny to me that it's like that, because the 3-year-old used to be the garbage that you didn't pay nothing for. Now, like everybody goes, well, that's a good horse that's got years and years, and that 10-year-old horse that's got flaw A, B, and C, so it's not worth anything. But the 10-year-old horse's flaws are easier to fix usually, and they're a better horse, and they've got the experience. And it's just funny, like that used to be the horse that was worth something, that people would be like, oh, I'll pay that for it. That's a lot, but I'll pay it. Now it's like, oh, nope, you're not 3, I'll pass. But That's crazy to me. I always buy the older horses. If I can find them like 10 to 15, like that's like perfect for what I'm doing. But then again, I'm doing like more of a breeding program and like working them and just doing like more casual stuff. So I don't need, I guess, a young horse because I'm not putting thousands upon thousands of trail miles on them. But I don't know. I wondered, like, that's why I want to talk about it. Like, have you noticed, like, how crazy that is? But yeah, it's getting crazy, and I see more and more of that every day, and I just think that's so like crazy because I can't fathom that. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways, but I don't know. I think something's going to change though. I don't think that can stay like that. But yeah, if you liked this segment of Barn Chat and you want to see more videos like it and other videos on the page, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.